Hi my friends, once upon a time, a miller lived with his children in a small town, and one day, the miller died, leaving behind a mill and a cat, and according to his will, the eldest son took the mill, and the middle son, and the young son, whose name was Ali, got the cat named Badia. Ali was disappointed with his father's legacy. He said to himself, "My sisters will gain from the mill, but for me, what will I gain from the cat? On the contrary, I will lose the food that I will give her." The cat heard Ali talking to himself, and came up to him and said, "Sir, do not despair, I will be more useful to you than the mill. Just buy me shoes, a bag, and a hat, and you'll see what I'll do." Ali was amazed at the words of the cat named Badia, and he was surprised by her requests, but, nevertheless, he brought her what she wanted, to see how it would benefit him, as he claims. The cat in the boots. The cat was happy with what Ali brought it. So she put on the hat, put on the shoes, put the bag on her back, and began to strut about her gait, making his master laugh with her movements. Then she asked permission from Ali and went on to do some work. The cat went to the market, got a few carrots, then went to the forest, opened the bag of carrots, and loosened its ropes. Then she pretended to be dead, and began to wait. An hour later, a fat rabbit appeared in the bushes, and headed for the sack. After she was assured that the cat was dead, she put her head in the bag and began to eat carrots. Quickly, the cat pulled the ropes of the bag, caught the rabbit, and headed with it to the king's palace at the edge of the forest. The cat stood in front of the palace guards and said to them, "I want to meet His Majesty the King. I have a gift that I will present to His Majesty." The guards were surprised by the cat's words, and amazed at her self-confidence, so they told the king about her, so he allowed her to enter. The cat with the shoes entered the king, bowed to her, and said, "Your Majesty, my noble lord, Crabbas, has sent you this rabbit, as a token of his affection and fidelity, and beseeching you to accept it kindly, and the honor of eating it."
The king laughed at the cat's words and her eloquence, and said to her, "Thank your master for his gift, and tell him, we have accepted it." The next day, the cat caught 2 partridges, and gave them to the king, with the greetings and salutations of his noble master, Crabbas. The king was pleased with the gifts of the noble Crabbas, and blessed the cat with the most delicious food in his palace. One day, the cat heard that the king was going for a picnic with his daughter, the beautiful princess, on the banks of the river. Clever Plan hastened to his master Ali, and said to him, "Sir, the time has come when you must see the noble King Crabbas. Go to the river, go down in it, and when you see the king come, pretend that you are drowning. Trust that you are noble Crabbas." Ali marveled at the words of the cat named Badia, and the name of the nobleman Crabbas, but he followed his advice, as he had nothing to lose. When the royal chariot appeared, the cat started screaming, "Help! Help! My noble lord Crabbas is drowning." And when the king saw the cat, he stopped the carriage. When the king knew the reason for the cat's scream, he ordered his soldiers to help the noble Crabbas, and save him, but the cat climbed up to the king and whispered in her ear, "Your Majesty, my master's clothes were stolen while he was swimming in the river, so if you order him clothes from you to wear, he will not forget your kindness to him." The king shook his head, and said, "This is sad news, but don't worry. Guardian, go to the palace, and bring me my finest royal clothes." When the guard returned, and Jabir wore the king's dress, Jabir looked young, handsome, and bright. When the princess saw him, she fell in love with him, and indicated to her father that he should join them on their outing. The cat in boots preceded the king's procession, and he passed by peasants harvesting corn, and he said to them, "Oh, peasants, I am an advisor to you. The king will pass by you shortly and will ask you, 'Whose land is this for?' If you answer, 'It belongs to the noble Carabbas,' he will be pleased with that and leave you, and if you say, 'It is ours,' he will kill you." The peasants were terrified of his words, and promised him to speak as he taught them. Then the cat in boots passed some men cutting the grass, and said to them, "Listen to me, the king is coming here, and if he asks you, 'Whose land is this for?' and they answered, 'It belongs to the nobleman Carabbas,' if you say so, I will free you from the exploitation and tyranny of the savage ogre." The king arrived at the cornfield, and saw the peasants harvesting it diligently, so he asked them, "Whose land is this?" At once they said, "To noble Carabbas, my lord." The king explained their answer. Then the king continued his advance, until he came to the grass cutters, and asked them, "Whose land is this?" They said with one voice, "To noble Krabbus, my lord." So Ali in the eye of the king exalted him, and exaggerated his honor. Fighting the ogre, the cat has gone to the castle of the wild ogre, to free the grass cutters, as he promised them. So he entered upon him and said, "My great master, I heard that you can transform yourself into any creature you want, so I came to you to see your ability, and tell people about it, so that they may exaggerate your respect and glorification." The ogre laughed and said, "Yes, yes, it is true what I heard." Then the ogre turned into a roaring lion, then back to normal. The cat, named Adorable, said to him, "How strong and extraordinary you are! But can you turn into a mouse, as I turned into a lion?" "Because I heard you can't." The ghoul got angry and said, "This is a lie. Of course I can do that, and I will show you." And as soon as he turned into a mouse, the cat hit him with her paw and devoured him. Meanwhile, the king entered the castle with his daughter and Ali, and the cat in boots greeted them saying, "Your Majesty, welcome to the castle of noble Krabbus." Ali's marriage. The king looked at the greatness of the castle and its good construction and said to Ali in astonishment, "Does this great and beautiful castle belong to you, noble one?" The cat winked at Ali, and he said, "Yes, your Majesty. And if you allow me, I would like to marry your daughter, the princess." The king was pleased with his request, and gave his daughter in marriage. Ali thanked the cat named Badia with shoes for everything he had done for him, and ordered servants for her to take care of her, and had mercy on his father who had bequeathed this miraculous cat to him.